Okay, so to continue our coverage over Johnathan Hickman's Avengers and New Avengers, this is actually going to be the last video before we jump right into Secret Wars. Of course, the big event that wrapped up the whole complete run of Johnathan Hickman's Avengers and New Avengers. But either way though, we actually pick up with New Avengers number 33. Now, we do pick up with Doctor Doom and the Molecule Man, because right now, you have Doctor Doom wants Molecule Man to explain his origin story, because over the years in Marvel Comics, we have learned the origin of the Molecule Man, but this is Doctor Doom telling us that, hey, listen, there is more to tell about the origin of the Molecule Man. And so right now we see the Molecule Man using his warp reality powers to take him and Doctor Doom to a very important moment that is going to explain everything about him and his connection to the Beyonders as well. And so to learn more about the origin of the Molecule Man, you have Doctor Doom and the Molecule Man go to an alternate universe. Now, when they get there, they get the ability to watch the origin story of this universe, Molecule Man. But then you have the original one from the main Marvel universe say, listen, his origin is just like mine. We were a regular person until a science experiment went wrong and we gained our powers. But thing is, we share the same life experiences, meaning that we went through the same things in our lives. Our lives are very similar. And the reason why the original Molecule Man knows that, because he shares some kind of connected mind, a hive mind. And of course, you have Doctor Doom very confused because he's like, wait, you guys are from different universes, but somehow you are connected. You are some part of a hive mind. What in the world is going on? But before the Molecule Man is able to explain more to Doctor Doom, you have the Molecule Man say, we need to send a message, and this message needs to be a powerful one. And so you have the main Marvel Universe Molecule Man basically kill off this alternate universe Molecule Man to make a message for someone. And the question is now, who is that someone? And so you then have the Molecule Man basically take Doctor Doom over to the Library of Worlds. Now remember, the Library of Worlds was basically made by the Beyonders as a way to hold information about the different universes across the multiverse. And so with that being said, the reason why the Molecule Man had brought Doctor Doom here is so he knows about this place. Number two, to know about the Beyonders, because to Doctor Doom, the only Beyonder he remembers is the one back in 1984 in the original Secret War. But now you have the Molecule Man say that was a child. Now you're facing the adults Beyonders, and they're way more powerful. And right now they're trying to get rid of the multiverse, because originally they were studying life across the multiverse, and now they're studying death across the multiverse. And so Doctor Doom, you have to be the one to actually stop them, to save us and the multiverse. And that is the moment you have the Molecule Man say, also, there's one more thing you need to know about me. I am their bomb. They basically created me, a bomb placed in every single universe across the multiverse. And so to explain the origin even more about the Molecule Man, he does tell Doctor Doom that in the multiverse, you have all those different universes. But when it comes to Doctor Doom, there is not a version of him in every single universe across the multiverse. There are some universes that do have a Doctor Doom, but not all. But when it comes to the Molecule Man, there is a version of him in every single universe. And of course, he says, we were bombs that were created by the Beyonders, because with our warping with our warping reality powers, why'd I have a hard time saying that? With our warping reality powers, we can take a whole universe with us. And so we are bombs that were created by the Beyonders, because right now they're studying death. They want to see the end of all things across the multiverse. And right now they're using us as a way to begin that process to get rid of different universes across the multiverse. Now, with all that being said, it is the Molecule Man telling Dr. Doom, we need to stop him. And the only way we can stop them is when you make a religion. You need to create a religion. And that right there is very huge, because this is the moment we are going to learn how Dr. Doom became the leader of the Black Swans. Because remember, in our last video, or the one before the last one, Doctor Strange found out that Dr. Doom was the leader of the Black Swans. That right there was huge. But of course, we did not get any kind of information to explain how in the world was that possible. This book right here is going to explain that for us. And so you have the Molecule Man give some of his powers over to Dr. Doom. And the reason why, because he says, listen, if you want to save the multiverse, if you want to save the universe, you need to go back in time and begin the process back then and go around to different universes across the multiverse and basically kill different versions of me. Because remember, we are basically bombs that were placed by the Beyonders. But if you go around killing different versions of me, then that can slow down their process. And so, of course, Dr. Doom was able to go back in time to give him more time to go around the multiverse to kill different versions of the Molecule Man, hoping that it could possibly save the multiverse. But of course, when he starts doing that, it does begin the process of him building the Black Swans. And so this leads into the origin of the Black Swans, because with the Molecule Man giving Dr. Doom the ability to time travel, giving him more time to go around the multiverse, killing different Molecule Mans across the multiverse, in his 8th year of going around being a killer, Dr. Doom ran into a young girl. And of course, she just watched him kill another version of the Molecule Man. Now, with that being said, she asked why, and Dr. Doom explained to her. And with him explaining everything to her, that right there made the first Black Swan. And then when word got out about Dr. Doom and this Black Swan, more and more Black Swans became to pop up left and right across the multiverse. And this all leads into what the Molecule Man said earlier. You need to make a religion, because if you have an army behind you, that will give you the chance to actually save the multiverse. And so that is how the Black Swans came to life, because one girl saw Dr. Doom kill a version of a Molecule Man. She loved the words, or she loved the idea of what he was doing, that it basically led to more Black Swans being made to follow behind Dr. Doom to save the multiverse. And this leads into the origin of the map makers. And the reason why I say that is because when it comes to the map makers, the only thing we knew about them was that they were creating some kind of map of the multiverse, and that is it. But of course, when they were blowing up Earths left and right. But now you have Dr. Doom tell us that the map makers were made by the Beyonders, which is something we already knew. But he said that their goal was to find me. They were making a map that would lead to me for the Beyonders, because they couldn't find me. I would go out there and kill a version of the Molecule Man, and they got word about it. And so the map makers were going to Earths across the multiverse that basically had a Molecule Man, but they had died. And so they were hoping that if they were able to create a map that lead to me, the Beyonders could find me and get rid of me. But of course, they couldn't find me. And so then we jump into the present day, where you have Dr. Doom talking to Doctor Strange. And of course, it's Doctor Strange realizing that this whole time, the Black Swans, their leader was Dr. Doom. But then of course, it's Dr. Doom coming to find out the Black Priest, Their leader was Doctor Strange. And so both men were trying to stop the Beyonders. They both had their own groups working very hard to get rid of the Beyonders. But of course, then you have Doctor Strange say, wait, what about the Black Swan that was with us in the main Marvel universe, the one that is right now with the Cabal? And that is the moment you have Doctor Doom say, listen, there were some Black Swans who wanted more answers. They wanted more answers to things that we were doing across the multiverse. But of course, when it came to my religion, when it came to my group, when it came to me being a leader, I had to hide some information from them because I knew then if they knew every single thing about our goal, it could possibly change them, could possibly lead them down a path just like the Beyonders are doing, the death of everything across the multiverse. And so the Black Swan, the one that we have been seeing throughout this entire run of Johnathan Hickman's Avengers and New Avengers, she was a Black Swan who wanted to know more. And when she learned everything that Doctor Doom knew about the death of the multiverse, it led her down the path, the same ones the Beyonders are going down right now, the death of the multiverse. Now, you do have Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom actually go and confront the Beyonders. And the reason why, because this is Doctor Doom finally showing himself to the Beyonders to show them that he was the one that was going around the multiverse, killing off all their time bombs, the molecule men across the universe. And of course, the Beyonders, they're happy to see Doctor Doom and Doctor Strange. But of course, this is the Beyonders thinking that they're going to be able to possibly get rid of Doctor Doom, or Doctor Doom is going to get rid of them. And so when you have the Beyonders come out of their little area to confront Doctor Doom and Doctor Strange, the only thing we see is a bright white light. Now, we have no idea what exactly happened when it came to that bright white light, but we do pick up with the Illuminati. And when we do, you have the Illuminati basically tell us that right now something happened in the multiverse. We know what, Doctor Doom and the Beyonders. But with their battle, of course, you have Reed tell us that we just now lost more Earths or more universes across the multiverse. And now there are only 2 universes left, the main Marvel universe and of course the ultimate Marvel universe. Now, this leads us right into Avengers number 44. Now, with this book right here, it basically picks up with Steve Rogers meeting up with Tony Stark. Now, this is the meeting that took place months ago, because remember, there were a bunch of characters that told us that there was a meeting that happened in the past that led to Steve Rogers hating Tony Stark even more. But we had no idea what that meeting was about. Well, we are about to find out, because as soon as Steve Rogers arrived at this meeting to talk to Tony Stark, you have Tony Stark tell Steve, you need to order food. Steve Rogers, he says no, because Steve Rogers is here to arrest Tony Stark, to lock him up for everything he has done wrong, for everything the Illuminati has done wrong. It's basically Steve Rogers saying, I need to lock you up because you are not the same man I used to know. You are a killer. You killed a bunch of innocent people from different universes across the multiverse. I said multiverse. But then you have Tony Stark say, but Steve, you don't realize what we were trying to do. We were trying to save the multiverse. We were trying to save our universe. Why in the world do you think that we are bad guys when we are trying to achieve something great? You do not understand how crazy this whole thing is. And so once again, you have Tony say to Steve, you need to listen to me. But you have Steve tell Tony, no, because you are not the same man I used to know anymore. You have changed. But then you have Tony tell Steve one more time, you need to order food. Now, the reason why Tony Stark wants Steve Rogers to order food is because who the waitress is. And the waitress is no other than Tamara. Now, remember, Tamara was the Captain Universe that was used in this run by Johnathan Hickman. Now, you also have to remember that when it came to Tamara, she was in a very serious car crash where basically it led to her forgetting a lot of things, including her daughter or what happened to her daughter. But before she was able to figure out what happened to her daughter, she was given the powers of Captain Universe, and she was basically helping out the Avengers with no time being used to find her daughter. And so right now, it seems like she has a normal life, and Tony Stark was able to find her daughter for her. And so with that, it kind of gives Steve Rogers hope that there's still some good in Tony Stark. Matter of fact, with that happening right there, is Steve Rogers beginning to trust Tony Stark, saying like, maybe we can find a way. Maybe, Tony, you are able to find a way to save the multiverse, to save the universe. And to Tony, he's kind of like, yeah, man, I can do it. But that is the moment you have Tamara freak out. And the reason why, because she still has her Captain Universe powers. And she knows that Tony Stark is lying because Captain Universe is the universe of the main Marvel universe. And she knows that she is dying. And she tells Tony and Steve that Tony is lying. Tony knows that this universe is about to die. He knew that a long time ago. But then we have to jump over to the present day, because let's not forget the Shi'ar Empire, the space empires of the universe have come together to blow up the Earth because they all learn that the universe is dying. And to save the universe, they have to get rid of the Earth. And so right now, they're getting ready to blow up the Earth. But let's also not forget that Tony Stark, he's back to helping the Avengers, back to helping the Illuminati. And so right now, he is going to use Soul's hammer. And remember, Soul's hammer was a weapon made by Tony Stark. By using the energy of the sun, it can be a very powerful weapon. But it was a weapon that Tony Stark just made, but technically never used it, or never saw a moment to use it until now. To save Earth, to get rid of the Shi'ar Empire, the other space empires that want to blow up the Earth, you have Tony Stark use Soul's hammer, a device that's using the sun energy as a blast, and bam. Just like that. All those empires were wiped out. All their armies that came here to blow up the Earth, gone. Just like that. Tony Stark has once again saved the Earth. But then we have to jump over to the Ultimate Marvel Universe. And the reason why, because they're also going through incursions. The only difference is, though, only one person knows about it. And that one person is Ultimate Reed Richards. Now, let's also not forget that in this universe, Ultimate Reed Richards, he was a good guy. But then he turned bad. Then he turned good again, but also turned bad again under Johnathan Hickman's writing. Now, Nick Fury in this universe, he gave Reed a job to make plans for anything to come down the road. Nick Fury wanted to be prepared for anything that could wipe out the Earth or just America. He wants Reed, the smartest person, to make plans left and right. And Reed did. And Reed is the only person who knew about the incursions. Now, when Reed went to an incursion point where basically two Earths are about to crash into one another, he ran into Thanos and the Cabal. And remember, they're from the main Marvel universe, but they were trapped on a different universe by Black Panther and Namor, and we were left to believe that they were going to die, but they were able to escape into the Ultimate Marvel universe to survive. But here comes the big thing, though. Thanos and Reed Richards of this universe, they have been working together. They're basically partners. Now, you do have Nick Fury of this universe and Hawkeye of this universe come over to see Reed because Reed has done some more shady things. But either way, though, you have Reed tell Nick Fury and Hawkeye that there is something he needs to know. There is something they both need to know. That basically right now, the Ultimate Marvel Universe is about to die. And he wants to show Nick Fury and Hawkeye what he means when he says that. But we have to jump back over to the main Marvel Universe. And the reason why, because we pick up with Black Panther going over to the White House to talk to the president, to tell the president that the world is about to end. Because to Black Panther and a few members of the Illuminati and Steve Rogers and the Avengers, there's only going to be one last incursion. That last incursion is the Ultimate Marvel Universe and the main Marvel Universe. And the reason why I say that is because what happened earlier in this video when Reed and Black Panther said there are only 2 Earths left in the multiverse. And those 2 Earths right now are about to crash into one another. And so Black Panther is telling the president, hey man, listen, the Earth is about to be wiped out. There's nothing you can do. Don't even think that your missiles or whatever you have could possibly save us. We're going to die. You failed us. We failed you. That's it. We're done. Bye. And so then we jump back over to the Ultimate Marvel Universe, where we pick up with Nick Fury and Hawkeye of this universe being told by Reed Richards everything that has been going on the last few months. The incursions, the death of the multiverse, all that information is now given over to Nick Fury and Hawkeye. But on top of that right there, it is also the moment where you basically have Reed Richards and Thanos tell Nick Fury and Hawkeye of the Ultimate Marvel Universe that there are only 2 Earths left in the multiverse, which is the Ultimate Marvel Universe and the main Marvel Universe. If Nick Fury of this universe wants to see his Earth survive and live on, they must fight and kill everyone in the main Marvel Universe. Now, getting into the present day, we do come to find out the reason why the Maker had told Nick Fury all that information was to use him for some kind of master plan, because the Maker, Thanos, and the Cabal, they wanted Nick Fury of the Ultimate Marvel Universe to go out there and actually attack the other Earth. But we have no idea why. But of course, we will learn here in a few moments. But getting over to the Ultimate Nick Fury, who's right now still in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D., we do see him right now talking to all of his agents and basically telling his agents that they are about to go to war. A war that could possibly kill all of them, but possibly save their Earth. Or it could possibly be the end of their Earth. And so right now, it's Nick Fury and Hawkeye asking them, if you want to help us, if you want to help protect your Earth, protect your universe, come with us. If you don't want to, we honestly understand. But of course, we would ask to have all hands on deck to deal with a problem like this big, because this could be the end of our universe. But then we have to jump back over to the main Marvel Universe. And the reason why, because we pick up with the Illuminati telling the Avengers about the Life Raft. Now remember, the Life Raft has the ability to survive even after the end of the multiverse, even after the end of this universe. And of course, that right there is a great thing, because if you're on the Life Raft, that means you will survive after the end of the universe. But here comes the big problem though. Only a certain amount of people can be on the Life Raft. And that right there upsets Captain Marvel, because she feels like the number should be higher up. But of course, you have Reed say, listen, if you want a better Life Raft, we need Tony Stark. Tony Stark is the best builder we have. He'll be able to make this Life Raft even better. But for Steve Rogers, he's like, no, I do not want Tony on this project at all. Matter of fact, I am going to spend my last few hours to bring in Tony Stark, because at this point, everybody knows that this Earth and the Ultimate Marvel Universe Earth are about to die. Everything is about to die on both universes. And so with that being said, it's Steve Rogers saying, I am going to spend my last 8 hours of my life to go ahead and bring in Tony Stark. That is how I am going to spend my last 8 hours. While the rest of you guys go ahead and get on the life raft and prepare to live on after the end of the universe. And this actually leads into the ending of the book, because we pick up with Steve Rogers right now going after Tony Stark, because these two characters, they always have butted head against one another over the years in Marvel Comics. Civil War is the best example I can give you guys, but this right here is another perfect example of Steve Rogers and Tony Stark just butting heads once again. But you have Steve Rogers taking one of Tony Stark's Iron Man suits to come after Tony Stark, to bring him in for the crimes that he has committed, because Steve Rogers is so upset with what Tony has done over the years, over the last few months, all in Johnathan Hickman's Avengers and New Avengers. But either way, this battle is so big and so powerful, it does last for about 8 to 10 pages. But while they're fighting, you have the incursion begin. The ultimate Marvel universe is about to crash into the main Marvel universe. Two universes are about to die. Two men are fighting against one another to prove that they were right. But either way, all of this is going to lead into Secret Wars, where you have the Illuminati and a few other characters getting ready to use the life raft as a way to survive. But of course, like I said, all of this is leading into Secret Wars. And this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. But this is where I am going to end today's comic book video and lead into Secret Wars.